Welcome back, guys, on my YouTube channel. Today I'm here with the 2025 KTM Rally Replica. Only 100 units produced this year of this bike, so very exclusive bike. But even though this might be a Dakar ready bike, still people want to customize it for their needs because not everyone is using it at Dakar, like in this case. And that's why I'll guide you through to what we installed and what features we wanted to implement here. Instead of a traditional roadbook and instead of the ERTF digital roadbook for which the Rally Replica tower is designed, but that can be only used at Dakar and cannot be purchased, we went and installed the biggest GPS system on the market, a 10-inch screen Garmin Tread XL. This particular Garmin has also the InReach technology, as this bike will go on a trip to Tunisia, so it's nice to have also the possibility of the SOS button here on the side of the tower to activate it in case of any emergency. The Garmin Tread has its own apps for navigation, but we implemented the DMD2 app. The reason for this is because Philippe not only will want to navigate on maps, but he'll also want to take part in events where they have Roadbook. So he needed a device that can implement a traditional roadbook and have Trip Master. But since the Trip Master becomes a bit tiny here on the side, we went and opted for a traditional Ico Max G Trip Master here on top. So it has the GPS antenna. This is very important in the desert because in the sand, if you go only with the wheel sensor, you could find the kilometers being very different from what you find on the roadbook because the front wheel sinks in the sand. This is the reason why we have the Ico Max G here on top, and we have the traditional Ico Max 2 on the handlebar that goes with the sensor cable to the wheel. Clearly, there is no mount on the market available that lets you put a 10-inch GPS or tablet and also a Trip Master. For this reason, I went and designed this specific bracket for the 2025 Rally Replica that lets you place Garmin Tread and all the Garmin devices. You have also the possibility of 2 positions. Clearly, with the 10-inch Garmin, you're limited to only 1 position, but with the smaller devices, you can bring it up and down. Here on the top, you have the placement for the Ico Trip Master, but also for a Stella device in case you go at an event where the Stella is used, or even a Speedo cap. On top of the bracket, you have the placement for the antenna with the holes for the zip ties. Furthermore, the Garmin mounts for the Garmin Tread series have a mechanical plastic lock, and you can access it as you have enough space to close it and open it, and so then detach the roadbook from the magnetic mount. Also, the mount lets you adjust it both on the tilt angle, but also bring it a bit more towards the handlebar and a bit more towards the front wheel. This bracket, I designed it thinking also of other devices on the market, so also, for example, the Carpe Heater will fit and other tablets. Nowadays, we all want to be able to command our devices without removing our hand from the handlebar, because when you have gloves, it can be complicated fidgeting around the map or the apps. For this reason, we went and installed an F2R roadbook switch that we converted into Bluetooth. With the switch, I'm able to scroll the roadbook, change the Trip Master settings, but all only on the Garmin device. For the Trip Master, we will command it with its OEM switch that's placed here on the right-hand side of the bike. Keeping the commands separate is something we did on purpose because it can happen that one, when riding, could confuse himself and maybe touch the wrong button that modifies something on the tablet or on the Trip Master. In this way, being separate, it makes it much easier to not make mistakes while managing the devices. To make this bike fully ready for the trip, we also added 2 USB ports, a USB-C and a traditional USB here on the handlebar in order for Philippe to be able to charge any device like his smartphone. And this is wired to the continuous power. It means you always have power, so even with the bike turned off, he will be able to charge his devices in case of emergency. These USB ports have this cover in order to avoid sand, dust, and rain to go inside. Speaking instead of how we wired the devices on the KTM 2025 Rally Replica, you have some plugs inside the tower that give power only when the bike is turned on. So we connected to one of those, and then we put a T-splitter in order to separate every power of every device, so that in case you need to substitute anything or you need to remove, it will be very easy because you'll just have to disconnect a connector and everything is separate. This is very important because many times I see disaster power cables going into the battery that you need to remove the tank and so on. I always do all my bike builds just like I build my bike for the Dakar Rally. Everything has to be on the wiring super high quality, easy to take off, easy to work around in case of any issues, and that's what we did also on this build. Now from the side, the full graphic is visible. We went and designed a specific graphic on Philippe's request and taste. We then went with the matte lamination because it just looks like the Factory KTM team bikes. For those that are new to the channel, we manufacture here inside the sticker kits, and after a long research, we found the ideal material that doesn't make any bubble when applying it. With the lamination, that means the cover that's on, the transparent cover that's on the sticker, that is super high quality, and together they make a thickness of over 500 microns. That reduces the probability of damages to the plastics and to the tanks, especially to the coating of the tanks, because these tanks are coated in a color, and in case you get them scratched, you need to remove the tank and have it coated again, which is not only expensive but very time consuming. This is why I always advise any Rally Replica owner to immediately apply a sticker kit, because this will add some protection to the whole bike. The moment you were all waiting for. Selle dalla Valle seat cover. This is the seat cover like the factory team bikes, different from the OEM that is in Alcantara, and in case it gets wet, it can stay wet for days. This is the special quick dry leather that even if it's pouring rain, I'll do like this with my hand and it will be dry. Furthermore, we have our section of memory foam, making it a bit more comfortable here in the back for the liaisons and the transfer sections, but at the same time we have added grip, because with these camel humps, if there is mud and wet conditions, you will have much more grip towards the end of the seat. In the front, like the OEM seat, you have the placement for the time card pocket. Now it's internal to the seat and not external. Reason for this is because the seat has got shorter, and this is a section of the seat where we move with our body, so it was almost impossible to put an external time card pocket. And the time card pocket has a hole in the middle, because when we are racing in rallies and we need to get the stamp, we won't have to take the time card out of the pocket. Lastly, we also changed the plastics. We went with the KTM orange front fender with the orange front fork guards, and then like most of the builds, we placed the factory rally handguards. I get a lot of requests on every video where you can purchase these handguards. These handguards can be purchased by Rebel X Sports. Don't send me messages asking me where to buy them. Just I will leave their email in the description. You can contact them. They usually have them in stock, and they are in 3 different colors. There's full orange, full black, and full white. I prefer them to the aluminum closed handguards because those can really harm you in case of crash. But also, if I have to compare these handguards compared to the OEM Rally Replica handguards, these have more protection, meaning that if we are riding behind a rider, our hands are more protected from rocks. But also, if it's very cold, we have a bit more protection from the wind on our hands. Well guys, we are at the end of this video. I almost forgotten another upgrade we will do on the bike, but that was not ready yet, is we are gonna change the wheels and put wheels with CNC machined hubs and reinforced spokes. These will come at a later date. I'll probably post on my Instagram a photo of the colors we chose. This means be sure to subscribe to the Instagram page to find more live content, to subscribe to the channel. Let me know then in the comments below what you think, if you are already a KTM Rally Replica owner, and if you would use this bike for adventure riding, which setup you would want device-wise. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!